What up? Mile High Six here, talking about um, sports here, and this is about history. History in the past, like since '90s and '80s and shit, '90s and 2000s, about these expired teams: the Houston Oilers, the Quebenordiques, the Atlanta Thrashers, the Montreal Expos, the Hartford Whalers, and the Seattle Supersonics. And some of these relocation is a bitch when it comes to some sports teams, like the Oakland Raiders this year. Maybe Tampa Bay is going to do that Montreal thing. Um, the the Warriors are moving to San Francisco this year, so like a lot of relocations happening, and sometimes it can be for the good. Like when the Islanders, like I think they split between Brooklyn and Long Island. Like the Islanders are better in Long Island than Brooklyn because Brooklyn's a quiet play. It's a basketball arena. But these teams all have something in common, except Seattle, which is they didn't have championships before they relocated. And let's start off with the Houston Oilers. They've been the Houston Oilers since the AFL. Like and like they were in the '90s, they blew like a lead. They blew a lead against Buffalo in the finals, like the biggest comeback in like history in the conference finals. And then like they changed their name. Then they relocated to Tennessee, and then they changed their name to the Tennessee Oilers. Then it didn't stick. They changed to the Titans, and then in the '99 season they got to the Super Bowl and then lost 1 year short. So that was a successful relocation. But again, the city of Houston is a football town, and Tennessee was a new like breed of sports because they just started when the Grizzlies moved and then the Predators. That's when they started the sports market in Tennessee, and so far they got two conference championships. The Predators have a conference championship, and the Titans have conference championships, but they're never gonna win a championship because Nashville's not really a good city. All right, next one, the Quebec Nordiques. I think they've been in the league for a while, and then a lot of good players like Matt Sundin, and then they relocated to Colorado, and then the first year they won the Stanley Cup, and then in 2001 they won the Stanley Cup. So they won two Stanley Cups in the past when they relocated. Again, like moving from a good fan base in Quebec, which is hockey crazy in Quebec, and going to Colorado, which is a different, different country, different type, but still cold environment, and still hockey crazy. And they have a good fan base, and like they have plenty of great players like Nathan McKinnon, Landeskog. Um, they just got Kadri. Thank you for Barry, Colorado. And next, another hockey team is the Atlanta Thrashers, and this one was a good move. No one in Atlanta cared when the Thrashers moved. Like they barely made the playoffs when they were around. Like when I was little, I thought it was like shit on ice. And like when they moved, they went to Winnipeg, and Winnipeg hasn't had a team since like they moved to Arizona. So Winnipeg got the team back in 2011. And yeah, Winnipeg has been a good team. Obviously, they have Patrick Laine, Mark Scheifele, Wheeler. Like they have a boatload of good talent in Winnipeg, and that's a successful relocation because no one cared in Atlanta. No one wanted to go to the games, and yeah, the Winnipeg Jets are a good team, so that's a successful relocation. That's clear cut relocation. Montreal Expos. Again, like the Expos had a lot of fans, but they were like around. Like the attendance wasn't as good when they're losing because a lot of bandwagon Frenchies. '93 season was like their best season, and like they said because of the like lockout, they couldn't get to the postseason. So yeah, and then like around 2004 or five, I don't know, they relocated to Washington, the capital of the U.S., and then like it was good for Washington because they got Strasburg and Harper and got a boatload of talent, but they kept choking in the playoffs. Now Harper's gone. Let's see what Washington can do. I consider that a successful relocation because they kept making the playoffs and they kept selling out seats and shit. And yeah, I consider that a successful relocation. And the fans of Montreal are begging for a team now because of nostalgia and shit. And they may get it if Tampa Bay plays like some of their games in Montreal, because Tampa Bay, even though they're a contender in the wild card, they don't have fans. Like it's kind of like the Sens. Like the Sens have fans, but like because of like the location, they can't get to the games as like efficiently as other teams like the Leafs. It's easy to get to the game. Go train, pew, right to ACC, done, or Scotiabank. Next team, the Hartford Whalers, and this was a successful relocation when it comes to like winning. But you know the fans in Hartford were they're kind of like New Englandish fans. You know Whalers have been a good like great logo. I love the da na 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 like a lot of good players over the years with the Whalers, and then in 2000, like around late '90s, I think early 2000s, they relocated to Carolina, and and then they got to the Cup in 2002 when they beat the Leafs in the finals. That sucked. Then they won the Cup in 2006 against the Oilers. So they just killed Canadian teams. Um, and then like now they're gonna probably get a lot of attendance because you know they're winning and a bunch of jerks and shit. But yeah, I don't think that was a successful relocation. But you know, Hartford's a smaller city than like Carolina. Like I mean Raleigh, because Raleigh's the capital of Carolina, and you know, winning standpoint, winning standpoint, yes, a successful relocation. But like overall, like the fans of Carolina don't care. Like the Southern hockey is dead. Like um, Coyotes, not good. Florida Panthers, even though they just stacked up, probably not going to be good if they don't win. They don't make the playoffs this year. And the Hurricanes, again, like those are trash. Like the South is dead. Like Florida sports, in my opinion, is garbage. Like they don't sell out. There's no loyal fans and shit. I don't know. Last team, and this is a team that should come back to the NBA, and it's the Seattle SuperSonics. You know, back in the '70s they won a championship, and then like in the '90s they had like Pippen. I mean not Pippen. What's his name? Payton. Yeah, Payton, and they had the other guy. Like they got to the finals in the '90s and lost to Jordan, but they had a lot of fans, and they were the team that drafted Kevin Durant, and you know they had a good team, and then they moved to Oklahoma, which like Seattle fans like refuse to be Oklahoma fans, and I wouldn't be an Oklahoma fan if I lived in Seattle and saw my team relocate. And for Oklahoma, they got to the finals in 2012, and then like they traded James Harden, and then Durant left in 2016, and like now their team is just CP3 and a bunch of scrubs and Dennis Schroeder. But yeah, they had loyal fans in Oklahoma. They got to the finals. I think that was a successful relocation. But other than that, like these teams, expired teams, all had good logos. But the problem is with all these teams is they didn't win shit except for Seattle. They didn't win. They haven't. None of these teams got to a finals, and then that's why they probably relocated. And then either than Atlanta, all right, either than Winnipeg and Washington, all those teams got to a finals, okay, or won the finals, okay. Okay, so those were like for winning standpoint, yes. Like for fan standpoint, like Houston, Quebec, like Seattle. Those are like I don't know. But yeah, so like these relocations are gonna be a bitch. Like a lot of nostalgia and shit. Like for Montreal, like the hats are pretty cool. I know I'm rambling, but I'm just speaking my mind right now. Um, yeah, no, like there's a relocation in the NFL and the NBA. NFL, the Raiders moving to Las Vegas. I'm happy for that. Raider fans are gonna be pissed, and I'm gonna be happy for that. That's funny. And yeah, Bunny's not Bunny Sport, Mile High Six signing out, and like these expired teams may come back. The Expos may come back. Like you never know in the world of sports. Like Vegas is gonna have a football team. You never know. Bye.